Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Lady Calamere and I will be doing my 275th presentation, and it will be on a goddess from Thailand. This will be the first deity I ever did on that came from Thailand. So her name is Mae Phosop. She is the rice mother. Mae means mother. Rice, to the people of Thailand, was not only a source of sustenance and food, but it was also a sacred grain, a blessed and holy grain. And here we have a bag of rice, organic basmati rice. So Mae Phosop, she represents the agriculture. She is a goddess of abundance. She deals with also prosperity. She is the mother rice, and her name is Mae Quan Kao. Mae Quan Kao, which means mother of rice. This goddess is she can be very timid and very shy. So around her, you should not talk about anything that is morbid. You shouldn't talk about evil. You shouldn't talk about like negative spirits around her, because she could get very shy. She is also shy of men, so men should not approach her during the time right before, like, the planting, because she can get very scared. And if she gets scared, what can happen is she can end up having an abortion, and the abortion is the rice crop. And she can end up like not abortion, I mean a miscarriage. That's what I meant. She can end up miscarrying, and that can spell doom to the people that are depending on her, to the farmers, and to the people who are going to benefit from the farmers' crop yield. So in modern times, her worship now is more delegated to the rural areas or where the farming is. Other religions have come into Thailand, talking about Christianity, Buddhism, and Hinduism. And eventually they start giving Mae Phosop a Hindu attire. Now I'm trying to find the deck of cards to give credit where credit is due. And if I cannot find out where I put the deck of cards, I'm going to have to restart this. Here it is. It's right next to me. It comes from the Goddesses of the World by Relmi, Sasha, and Sylvia Damiano. Awaken your inner goddess oracle cards that celebrate women's diverse stories. So she represents the harvest time. As we know, Samhain in Celtic mythology was the last, third, and final harvest season. Now, she has been compared to a Hindu Devi, Sri Devi, but she's her own goddess. And yes, there are still people worshiping her, and yes, statues or murtis are made of her. And if someone doesn't, some people may be able to afford an elegant, elaborate statues. Others will have a picture, and others still will use a whole ear of rice. But that's okay if you don't have an ear of rice. You can always use rice for her. And she represents all rice. Oh, we got a visitor, Miss Kitty. You're sassy today. You really are. You're sassy and spicy today. So, there was once a story about her that rice used to be as big as a person's fist. And rice was so abundant. And the people, Mae Phosop was generous in her blessings. But one day, a lady who was very angry and probably jealous and just in a bad mood started taking the rice and started thrashing it and treating it horribly. Mae Phosop was so sad, and so she ran away. And when she ran away, a great drought happened. The rice did not bloom. The people were hungry. The ground was dry. People were dying. So on and on for many, many years did it go on. And there were several ways. It was one thing where a monk had a talk with her and convinced her to come back, and which she did. But the people will have to work harder, and the rice will no longer be the size of a hand, but itty bitty grains. So she did come back, but she came back with some stipulations. Mae Phosop is always depicted as very beautiful, alluring, and demure, elegant. She's depicted as a woman wearing beautiful traditional jewelry, golds, of course. She's usually seen wearing a green or even a red dress, or even dressed in saris. She can be shown sitting or standing, and she holds a rice sheaf, usually against her right shoulder or the bend of her right arm. So, how people is she approachable? Yes. Especially, she's more approachable towards women. She also doesn't like yelling and screaming during the planting. She does not tolerate also constant vulgarity. She doesn't like it. On the Lunar New Year, they would make rice cakes to celebrate, as is traditional. And they also worship and thank Mae Phosop after each harvest, which is usually three harvests in Thailand. And so anyway, sorry. So, a way people greet each other is, "Have you eaten yet?" This is how people will greet each other and try to make friends. A taboo with rice is, if you are eating rice, you are to hold, this is what they do. It's not a taboo, but this is what they do. They will hold a bowl of rice in their hand and the hands up, and they would eat, because it's considered bad manners to drop cooked rice on the floor. It's also considered bad manners, and to not only to people around you, but it's rude to the goddess Mae Phosop to step over or on top of cooked rice. So if you spill any, pick it up. Anyways, it's just good habits to be clean so you don't get pests and bugs. Another gesture that people will make after they have their rice with their condiments is, they're taught from children to do the way, and that is folding your hands and lifting them up like this and thanking the goddess. In the mornings, women would traditionally cook rice, and women were the head of households. So they would cook the rice in the morning. They would make breakfast from it. So rice is an integral staple among the people from ancient to modern day. Mae Phosop represents fertility of the rice, but also fertility of all things. She can grant us food, abundance, and prosperity, and plenty. May you never hunger, may you never thirst. In the name of Mae Phosop, right? Miss Kitty, do you have to sit on the card? Miss Kitty just wants to be famous today. Is she approachable? Yes, but more by women than men. Men, yes, but she's more approachable by women. What does she like to eat? Well, traditionally, I think at one time they may have offered her blood, but now it's just vegetarian. Like, people will offer her grains of rice. I've seen little vials with uncooked rice, but also they give her fruits and bananas, melons, Asian pears, apples, and you can think of all fruits. I mean, in modern times, we can offer her rice, all different types of rice, right? Black rice, red rice, brown rice, white rice. It could be jasmine, it could be organic, it could be plain, it could be, vegetable fried rice. We can give her sticky rice. Small grain rice, long grain rice, it doesn't matter. We can think about opening, cooking that ready-made rice in a pack in the microwave, and we can offer and give thanks to the goddess. Also, she likes water, so you could give her water with the offerings, which is a good idea since she represents the water that grows the rice and in which she ended the drought. She does like jewelry, so some people can't always afford it. Don't bite my card. But she likes rice cakes and anything cooked with rice. So think of what we have in modern times and what we can do with rice. So I don't think meat is offered to her anymore. At least that's not what I've seen. So you can give her vegetable fried rice. You can make her a sweet rice, a dessert rice dish, rice pudding. You can make her anything with rice, and fruits and melons and berries. Those are some good offerings to this goddess. However, as her worship is more being diminished, her popularity is being able to be spread throughout the world. Thanks to the internet and people who have a desire to learn and teach about this goddess. And she has other names. And she's also the grandmother spirit of rice. And that's Ya Kuan Hao. Ya Kuan Hao. Ya Kuan Kao. Grandmother spirit of rice. The rice mother's Mae Phosop. It's spelled Phosop, but it's spelled Phosop. And she's also the spirit essence of the rice is Lady Kuan Kao. So she is Ya Kuan Kao is grandmother spirit of the rice, which she's also known as Lady Kuan Kao. I'm trying to think of the other name of her, the spirit essence of the rice is Mae Phosop. Mae Phosop. And that would be N-A-N-G, Nang Phosop. Sorry, Nang. And in Bangkok, Thailand, used to have many rice fields. However, it's impossible to find these rice fields in the city. So there are only like several shrines, just a few shrines dedicated and scattered out in the suburbs of Thailand. One I can think of is Nong Chok, Nongchok, and I know there's one in Minburi, Minburi. So there are several of them, but there's not a lot. And they do house two other goddesses with her, some of them, and it was said, and it was rumored that there was a statue of Mae Phosop that was made of gold, pure gold, but it was stolen in 1970. And it's still missing. So, wow. So in the new year, definitely sticky cakes are made using a mortar and pestle. They are cooked in a fire, and then you have like another traditional dish, which is called cow cow chai cow chai cow chai. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I do know how to spell it. It's Khao, which is cow, and Chae. And this is a type of rice dish that is actually not sweet but savory, and it's prepared during the New Year, Lunar New Year. Mae Phosop is pretty gentle, and she is giving. She is the very soul of rice. She is the mother of rice prosperity. There is a common belief in Thai that without eating rice, one cannot live a long life. That's just one of the beliefs. When she flees, when she fled from being mistreated by an old widow, when she was being mistreated and mishandled, she finds shelter. She she flees and she goes with a friend. So that friend is a fish that leads her deep, deep, deep into the jungle where no one can find her, no one can see her. So sometimes she is said she has a statue where she sits on top of a fish. So that's another thing, one of her vehicles is said to be like a fish. And she didn't come back until she was convinced to come back, and people promised to love and respect her. So she is in Thailand. The Buddhists, some Buddhists actually do pray to her, and still offer her, uh, you know, offerings to her. They sing. There's songs and dance and celebrations done with her. They even have like sometimes pull out a bamboo mat and then put the offerings on it. But she was there before Hinduism, before Buddhism. She is a native Thai goddess. So she is they depend on her for a good harvest. And when they plant the seeds, when they start planting the seeds, they first, when they have it on the ground, they start exposing it to the sun at first, out of respect, and then they plant it. So, and by the way, before like the lunar year, they will give, before the feastings begin, they would give offerings to the ancestral spirits and offerings to Mae Phosop. You can call her Phosop or Mae Phosop. She is found as PH, just as Phosop or Mae Phosop. And this is again a beautiful card, and it comes from the goddesses of the world. You could find it on Amazon or eBay or your local cult store. And let me see. I'll read a little bit. So share your resources. So she is represents sharing, right? Share and share alike. Sharing is caring. The Thai rice goddess imports the wisdom of nurturing and providing sustenance. Cultivate a spirit of generosity and compassion, just as Mae Phosop blesses the land with abundance. Let her energy guide you to share your resources and care for those in need, knowing that by giving, you receive even more in return. So, feed the hungry, feed those who are maybe suffering. Sometimes, when someone is mourning a cat or a person, it is good to maybe offer them something to eat. Maybe make them some chicken soup. Maybe even make them a salad, even a sandwich, and coming over and say, I'm sorry for your loss. It is good to offer, I guess, alms to those who are suffering. Like a loss in the family, maybe give them some money, or maybe, especially food is always good. There's always food at a wedding, there's food after a funeral, there's food during a birthday, during every celebration. We're always stuffing our faces. So food brings family and people together, does it not? I mean, the greeting, have you eaten yet, in Thailand surely brings that up. So rice is very important. I love rice. Do you love rice? I love rice. I love rice. I enjoy rice. So anyways, wow. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and family. Please think about sharing food with people. Donate food to animal shelters. Or donate your time to different homeless shelters or animal shelters, because they can use some money, they can use some supplies, some food, and some of your time. Anyways, thank you so much. You are so awesome. Went to a concert last night, had a blast. It was great metal music, loved it very much. And as you can see, I didn't say any swear words. Very respectful to Mae Phosop. Thank you for all you do for us, Mae Phosop, and thank you for the rice that I love so much, especially jasmine rice. That's very, very beautiful, and comes from Thailand originally. Jasmine rice, but we have basmati rice, which is good. You ever have popcorn rice? Go look for popcorn rice. It's like rice that smells like popcorn. They have all different types of rice. In many ways you can cook it. And think about Mae Phosop. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, blessed be.